Good day and welcome to today's preview. The 17th of January, we will be racing from Scottsville. We will start off. We have the first race. It's a maiden plate over 1,000 meters. Let's have a look at the betting. The betting as follows is number 6, Irish Bell, 2-1. Sugar and Spice, 4-1. Always on my mind, 4-1. 11-2. Drogherati, 15-2. Master Dancer. Staten Street, 15-2. 18-1. Asian Street, Battle of Stirling, and Longer the Race, scratch number 10, Alma Mater. As per normal, my first selection is my outright selection, which I think that will be the horse that can win the race. My next two selections is outsider selections that I think do have a chance of either winning or placing, and then I will touch on one or two horses in the race in order to keep this video at a reasonable length. So here in race 1, my selection is the favorite, number 6, Irish Bell. I do have a saying that you never punt a horse till it wins. Irish Bell has had now 2 seconds in a row, 4 seconds in a row. But if you go and have a look, you'll see that she's been running against some decent fields. Here we have Walker Typhoon, which is also running today later and has won another race already. So I do feel that Walker Typhoon is a decent horse, and you'll see out of that race, 14 runners, 1 winner. And in the next race, she was just beaten by Captain Adriana, which I think is no donkey either. Also out of that race, 11 runners, 2 winners. And then she ran second to Vesanoza, also 1 winner, 2 winners out of 13, and then was beaten by Palm Heart. And that already from there, 10 runners, 1 winner. So, and if you see that kind of a winning ratio, if you're going to have a look in that races, you'll probably find that there are other horses that's also won. But these statistics only reflect if a horse win immediately after running in this race. In other words, there were 2 horses that immediately after in that race won a race, but there might be horses that has won a second or a third run after this race. So I think if you're taking that in account, I do feel that Irish Bell will be hard to beat. Also getting the -2.5, which is another advantage. So I think Irish Bell really a good bet today, as it is not a strong maiden field. For my outsider selections, I'm going for number 1, which is Master Dancer. Master Dancer has been running over further, and but it's getting the -4, and yeah, I've just got a feeling that with the apprentice on board, this horse is going to be carrying a 4 kilogram less, and might be up there and finish in the placings. Definitely, I'm of the opinion not the horse cannot win, but put it in your outsiders, in your quartets. My other outsider selection is number 8, which is Drogherati from the Paul Lafferty stable, a Wiley Hall by a Carl May. This horse has also has been improving, ran behind Spider's Corner 11 lengths, but Spider's Corner has already won 2 races, and then last time out on the Greyville track, ran third behind Rite of Passage, was hanging out over the last 400 meters, but today is getting this a very competent apprentice, and also the -2.5, which is definitely be in his favor. And there are horses like always on my mind who also ran improved race last time out behind Beckoning Beauty. Dylan on board, also obviously in with a chance, and I think that will be involved in the finish. We have these 2 Water Winters that might at the end of the day fight out the finish. So let's move on to race number 2. All the races, looks to me, most of the races today are named horses that Michael Roberts have been associated with. As you know, this is the Michael Roberts race day. This is a 1,500 meters maiden plate. And the betting as follows. Number 10, Secret Giver 4-1. San City 9-2, 11-2, Go Sandals. Techno Savvy 11-2, Mr. Pigale 6-1, 10-1 Quastador, and 11-1 Bohemian Lad, 12-1 and better the rest. So let's have a look here. My first selection here is number 10, which is Secret Giver from the Fun Sales Table. This horse has had one run. The debut over the Scottsville, over this course and distance. Didn't run too bad. It's what sometimes really amazed me when they write these comments on Imperial. One pace finish, okay, which is true, but the horse ran 21.9, 400 to finish, which is, if that is correct, is not is really a good time. Then I was wondering what time the fastest 400 to finish ran in that race. But his horse ran on well behind Tree of Knowledge from a deep draw. Unfortunately, again today has got a deep draw, which can be of a disadvantage. But this is just the way it goes. Then for outsider selections, um, my outsider selection is number 9, Go Sandals, a JPEG, a 4-year-old, getting the -1.5. Has also been running there and thereabouts, and did run over 1600 meters last time. Just faded out a little bit at the end, but I think with the run under the belt will definitely be the benefit. It's a third run after a short rest. And then my other outsider selection is number 13, Techno Savvy. Techno Savvy has also run 2 decent races, debuted over 1200 meters and then ran a 1400 meters, but also unfortunately drawn deep, but can be involved in the placings. So that is my race number 2. Let's move on to race number 3. Here we have a maiden plate over 1600 meters for fillies and mares. Here the betting is as follows. Number 5, Fly Me Free, 90-10, Laurel Lane, 7-2, Horoscope 5-1, Emirate Isla 6-1, Evertlow 11-2, Gypsy Magic 12-1, Bonashad 16-1, 16-1, Carps Amazy 22 and longer the rest. Now here in this race, my first selection is number 4, because if you look at number 4's form on paper, doesn't look good, but the thing is, we all know that Tony Nassif, if he comes to Durban or Scottsville, he does not do this for the scenery, to take the weekend off. Now, if you have a look here, this horse is getting the -4, which is already a huge advantage. This horse, 2 runs back against Magical Flight, ran over the 1600 meters, but just faded a little bit at the end. Now, Magical Flight won another race the other day, his second race, and a horse that finished second behind him yesterday in the last race at Termonde won a race. So, if you have a look here, 6 runs, 1 winner, 9 runs, 2 winners. So, this horse has been running against some decent opposition. Last time out, only 4.75 behind Flower Season. Although it says here no finish, did run at 22.6, which is a which is a very good time for over 1800 meters to run the last 400 meters in 22 and getting the -4. This horse is number 8, is 8-1. Go each way, go and help yourself, because I'm telling you now, the money is going to come for this. Our Lebanese friends, they're going to punt this horse. I can tell you that now. This horse is not here for the scenery. So then my outsider selections is number 3, Rainway. Now this horse has drawn well, drawn free, and has had 3 runs, and it's like it's improving every time. And you can see last time here behind Boogie's shoes over the 1400 meters was running on nicely, slow 11th, and then only 25.1, which is not that fast, but was still the second fastest 400 to finish. And this horse will be running on when other horses are stopping. Tony Revelant and this owner, Miss Liley, has had a few runners lately with Stewart Randolph. So definitely number 3, Rainway, put in all your selections. And my other outsider selection is number 11, which is it's Horoscope. Now Horoscope has also improved last time out over the 60 and Gravel, Sean Wheel, but unfortunately draw 11. But I know this advanced warning me has thrown one or two nice horses, so definitely do include in your betting. And then here we have Carps Macy, which is trained by Michael Roberts. I'm sure Michael Roberts will love it if he can have a winner on in one of his races. So I'm sure Carps Macy will also be involved in the finish. Do put in all your quartets and trifectas. We then move on to the fourth race, which is a 1950 meters maiden plate. Let's have a look at the betting race 4. Here we have number 11, Let It Straight Dance, 15 to 10. 1,000 Tune, 7 to 2. Command Control, 15 to 2. Grey Langari, 9 to 2. Fat Cigar, 10 to 1. Summerfield, 10 to 1. Dry War, 10 to 1. 20 to 1, and betted the rest. Scratch number 2 and 13. My opinion on this race is if you don't like the favorite, you're going to have to go wide. My selection in this race is number 8, which is 1,000 times. It's a noble tune by a Jetmaster mare. I really like the breeding. This horse has improved last time out, running second behind Alado Sprite over a little bit longer, but I'm sure the 1950 won't pose a problem. He's drawn 8, which is okay. And this horse has been running there and thereabouts, and I do feel that today 1,000 tunes might be standing in the number 1 box after the race. For outsider selections, I'm going for number 1, Storm Cry. This is the Apache by a Bernstein mare. Now, this horse was introduced over shorter, but then last time was put over the 750 and had run a hugely improved race. Second fastest 400 to finish, getting the -2.5, draw 1, number 1, Storm Cry, definitely to be included in all your bets. The number, my other outside section is number 6, H2O. Again, a Michael Roberts inmate. This horse has been running over shorter, now going to 1950, and I do feel H2O. You need to include this horse has also run on last time out, although it says no finish, but it ran the fastest 400, second fastest 400 to finish. So I don't know about that one. But again, luckily we're not bound by those comments, and I feel H2O will also be involved in a finish today. I just want to find the favorite. The favorite's number 11. Unfortunately, drawn 11, which is not a good draw on this distance at Scottsville. This horse ran on nicely last time behind, so smooth on the poly, and then also before that ran at gravel and the turf, running on. So definitely number 11, Let Us Say Dance, do have a chance, but I won't be taking the 17 to 10. Then we go to race number 5, which is a measured at 88 handicap over 1,000 meters. Let's have a look at the betting. Here we have number 2, Shannon Cock, 33 to 10. Light That Loose, 9 to 2. 11 to 2, Valiente. Hampton Court, 8 to 1. Alfonso Spadoni, 5 to 9, 9 to 1. Blaze of Silk, 9 to 1. Woodstock Festival, 9 to 1. 11 to 1, and better the rest. On here in race 5, my first selection is number 7, which is Hampton Court. You'll see that Hampton Court and Valiente did meet, although under poly. But this horse has had some decent runs at Scottsville, so I'm not concerned about the course. But Valiente beat him by 2.2 lengths. But now today, there's a 5 kilogram turnaround in favor of Hampton Court against Valiente, so that will bring them together. And therefore, my selection, Hampton Court, only carrying 49.5 today, I think is a huge runner in this field. Last time out ran second in a graduation plate, which was a little bit higher than his racing here today, and did manage to finish second behind Zivala Winter. And they were horses behind both of them that had higher ratings. So I think Hampton Court today is going to run a huge race. In my outsider selections is number 10, Prince Caress. This horse is at the bottom of the betting. But what I think This horse is better than the form looks like. He did win his first race, beating Portugal, which is no donkey himself. Tempting Fate, also a good horse, finishing 4.7. And then last time at both runs, the previous run slow, faded out, and then come after the rest. It says you have shifted out late, but only 6 lengths behind the winner in an 84, where the horse is now running in a 79. So it's a little bit down in class. Do include this horse in all of your bets, because if this horse managed to place or even win, the dividend is going to be huge. Then my other outsider selection is number 12, Valiente. As I said, him and Hampton Court did clash before. Um, this horse has run course and distance 3 runs for 1 second, but also getting the -1.5 again today. And I think Valiente also will be involved in the finish. Then I just want to move up here to Light That Loose and Shinnecock. Light That Loose was beaten by Tread Swifty last time, but before that, won a 76 novice, so also in with a chance. And number 2, Shinnecock, comes from um, has got some good Cape form. If you have a look here, that ran a nice race behind, beating Albrecht, then Albrecht beat it. But it's getting the -4 plus 1, so it's carrying 54 -450 plus 1. It's carrying 51, so a nice lightweight, not to be left out, number 2. So then we move on to race number 6. Race number 6 is a Phillies Lando, Phillies Amaze handicap, 92 class B, average made at 86. Let's have a look at the betting race 6. Race 6, I've got number 3, Diamonds and Pearls 7-2, Preferential 4-1, Drama Queen 4-1, 6-1, Charlotte Chill 7-1, Rise, Aries Wondergirl 7-1, Stelbo 8-1, Jacksbird 9-1, 16-1, down to Earth. So here in race 6, my first selection is number 9, Drama Queen. This horse is carrying um, 57, but you'll see here the merit rating in this race is 86. This horse has run in 95s before, not been, we have a look here, third runaway, Queen Supreme, 7 lengths behind Queen Supreme, Mississippi Birding. This horse has really run against some huge, here we have just under 3 lengths behind Elusive Fortune. Elusive Fortune won a future race the other day in Cape Town. So I do feel Drama Queen today ready to make to run a huge race here. Has run at Scottsville 1 run, being placed fourth, but it says you needed the run. So I think definitely number 9, Drama Queen, in with a huge chance in this field. Then my outsider selection is number 2, which is Rise. Rise has also run against some good opposition, and bar this bad race behind final occasion is always there and thereabouts, getting the -2.5 today, only carrying 49, and I think that will be in this horse's favor, as that ran 7 runs on this course for 2 wins. Last time out winning over the 1950. Now today 200 meters shorter, but I don't think that should be a problem and can definitely be involved in the finish. My other outsider selection is number 5, Irish Wondergirl. This Irish Flame by Blackhouse Me is also a horse that runs well. There she ran third behind Diamonds and Pearls, and now she's carrying less than Diamonds and Pearls, 56 and a half, 58. Oh no, so there is not, but there is a weight turnaround which could be in her favor, and I do feel that Irish Wondergirl today can also run a huge race. Preferential is also a horse that has improved in his last few runs. Yeah, definitely also in with a chance, Preferential. Then move on to race number 7, which is a Michael Roberts handicap, the listed 1750. A lot of good horses has won this race in the past. So let's have a look here at the betting. Number 1, Baby Shoe 72, Mr. Fit 72, Black Ball 5-1, Trip to Africa 13-2, New Stream 15-2, Media 8-1, and 10-1, and longer the rest. Now here my first selection is number 7, Black Bull. You'll see this horse in this course. 9 runs, 3 wins in 5 seconds. He really loves this course. Although the distance might be a little bit short, but I'm sure Raiden Danielson will be awake about that. He won nicely with by 3.5 lengths against Twice Golden over a longer distance, but I'm sure today the 1750 won't be posing a problem. And I'm looking for Black Ball, one of the most improved runners I've seen in a long time. And I think Black Ball today is going to be hard to beat in this race. And then for outsider selections, I'm also going for the stablemate marching together. Also, a horse that has been putting it together. And although maybe a little bit short, but as you can see, it's constant in beating by Black Ball, but definitely a horse that can improve and can be involved in a finish. And my other outsider selection in this race is number 4, which is New Stream. New Stream also was always there and thereabouts, not too far behind the winner, always running his heart out, and maybe and has also run against some decent opposition. And I do feel New Stream definitely capable of winning this race. Did beat Mount Anderson the other day, and Mount Anderson came out and won a future. So I think New Stream definitely not without a prayer. We can look at a favorite. Sorry, I just wanted to look at my favorite. Number 1, Baby Shoes. Now, Baby Shoes, um, uh, there you are, the race behind Mount Ranford, behind Mount Anderson. That was in 100, A100. Today is A99. So it is in this class. And definitely, Baby Shoes can also be involved in the finish. Has won over 2,000 meters. So definitely not to be left out. I do believe he has got a chance, but I think my selection also has got a huge chance. Here we have Trip to Africa, which was running over shorter distance, and then one day they put it over the 1,600 meters, and this was won well, but that was on the poly, now back on the turf. But I would think Trip to Africa can surprise in this company today, only carrying 53 and a half. And we move on to race 8, which is a Toto Pinnacle Stakes. I think all of us, if you're an old hand in a racing, you'll definitely recognize the name Toto. I think that is the horse that gave Michael Roberts the fame. He won 2 huge races on Toto. I'll never forget it. I was still a young man in those days when that happened. We're having a race here over a Pinnacle Stakes over 1,100 meters, Class A, average merit rate at 93. And here the betting is as follows: Walker Typhoon 2-1, Linnea 28-10, Silent Crusade 4-1, Candy Galore 9-2, Blush of Dream 11-2, Dicey 12-1, Scratch 4 and 7. And here my selection is number 5, which is Walker Typhoon. I really like the look of this horse. It looks like this horse might have a future. And did beat Big Sky Country. Big Sky Country last time outcome and won again. And here you can see Irish Bell. If Irish Bell wins in the first race, that will also then strengthen the form. And this horse is only carrying 50 kilograms. It's a huge difference in weight. And I do feel that Walker Typhoon will be hard to beat in this race. My outsider selections is number 3, Blush of Dawn, um, also getting the -4, only carrying 51. Also a horse that's always there and thereabouts, but hasn't won on the turf yet. But I do feel maybe today at the Scottsville might be the day that, I mean, if you check here, she has run once at Scottsville, which she has run at Scottsville in January. Um, and then she ran second behind Tupelo Honey, and since then has won another 4 races. So I think Blush of Dawn definitely a horse that you want to include in all of your play. And my other outsider selection is number 8, Candy Galore. Candy Galore and Hawker Typhoon are close to are close to each other, and I think also Candy Galore can also be run a huge race. Has run against some huge full opposition, beating Wizard of Oz, second behind Great Shaka, Bawana, all horses that has got a nice, decent horses. So Candy Galore do include in your quartet and trifecta selections. Then we move down to race number 9, which is the Hollywood Beach Bright Future Meditated 78 handicap. Class C, average merit rating 76. Here the betting is as follows. Number 8, Bernie's Dream 92, Avenir 11 to 2, Candyman 6 to 1, Mashari 15 to 2, Quant Master 8 to 1, Manunu 8 to 1, Green Light to Heaven 10 to 1, Brass Bell 11 to 1, Kingston Rock 14 and 16 to 1, and better the rest. So here in the last race, I want to go down to number 11. I did give you number 11 previously when it ran Green Light to Heaven. But I think they tried this horse over a longer distance in the last 2 races, and I don't think the horse was suited to that. But before that, as you can see, ran a huge race behind Great Sharka in 84, 86, now running in a 76, and was involved, also ran in two future races. But the race that impressed me was this race at Scottsville over 1,000 meters, winning against Sir Pom. And Sir Pom has also won a few races, and I think 11 Green Light even today ready to run a huge race. In an outsider selection, I'm looking for number 12, Mashari. Mashari also, it's always there and thereabouts, and I think also can run a huge race today. Look at the last time ran 22.7, 400 to finish, and got bumped at the start, ran on, and I think number 12, Mashari, can also be involved when the photos are taken. Then my other outsider selection is number 1, Avenir. Now, number 1, Avenir is also down in class from an 89 to a 76 behind Full Blast. Now down in class, and I do feel that they're putting it over a little bit short, and I do think that will suit um, Vichuda by Varmeer. There will be speed. This horse has beaten Secret Dynasty. Secret Dynasty has won a few races. So definitely, I think Avenoir, a horse that you can't leave out. In the other horses, there's chances. Number 7, Brass Bell, also horses that I think do include in all your play. Yes, number 8, Bernie's Dream. Bernie's Dream has just won a maiden, but won white quite well by 4 lengths, getting the -1.5, and certainly could perhaps follow up on that. I'm just not sure about the strength of that field. I do see Alma Mater was due to run today, but that was scratched. So I'm not sure how strong that field was. So that brings us to the end of my preview for Scottsville. I hope I could point you in the right direction for a few winners. And as I always say, break a leg.